Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Reform Will Fix It local election tour, live from Basingstoke in the county of Hampshire. Now, please welcome councillor and broadcaster Darren Grimes.
Well. Thank you very much. Basingstoke, how you doing? It's an absolute pleasure to be here, especially after day one in our Isle of Wight launch of this tour. It's a tour that will see us going around the whole nation, because guess what? We managed to beat the government into ensuring that elections can go ahead. And speaking of elections, we've got candidates who are sat in front of me right now. Raise your hand if you're a candidate. Look at this. Can I get a round of applause for them, please? Yeah, thank you. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot right now, and you're in front of me, sir. What made you stand for the party?
Make a difference.
And what change do you think we need to see in this country? I mean, we've been promised change by the Labour Party, we've been promised change by the Conservative Party. What have we got?
You just need to be honest and do what you say you're going to do.
Exactly.
And I think that's what is needed in politics, because a lot of people say things just to get in and get voted, and then, you know.
And we mean what we say. We mean what we say. When Suella stands up and says we need to leave the ECHR as a former Home Secretary, boy, do we mean it. We mean it exactly because places in our country have been changed in a totally anti-democratic way. Which of you among us voted for that change? Any of you? No? And we're not just joined by Reform Party candidates, and thank you so much to every single one of you that is taking a stand for the party, not just for the party, not just for Basingstoke, but actually for the country as well. But we're also joined by our party members. Hands up if you're a party member. Woo! Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all of you. Sir, why are you a party member?
Well, I first followed the party in 2023. I was hooked when I first saw them. I agreed with everything that they said, and now here we are.
Exactly, yeah, we are here. And look at this, what a good job they've done, haven't they? And we're also joined not just by our members, who I love above all, but also by ordinary members of the public. Raise your hand if you're not a member of Reform UK. Well, there we are. Look, see, we are the party. Thank you very much, by the way, for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are the party that actually wants to allow all of you to take part in the democratic process, to hear what we have to say as a party, to actually boost our message to parts of the country that I feel have been ignored, maligned, and all the rest of it for far too long. Taken for granted. You know, I come from County Durham, and I don't know about you, but I feel that actually the Uni Party have taken us for granted for far too long. So I'm so grateful to you all for coming out. Sir, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Thank you.
Are you a member of the party?
I'm not yet.
Not yet?
No.
So what can Nigel say tonight to convince you to join, sir?
He doesn't have to say too much. He's said a lot so far. Thank you.
He has, yeah. And can I ask you, madam? Thank you. What about yourself, madam?
I'm a member.
You are a member? Oh, well, thank you very much for being so.
Very much so.
What about you, sir? Are you a member of the party?
Yes, I'm a member and actually potential parliamentary candidate.
Oh, well, thank you very much for doing that. Thank you. Yeah. Round of applause. And it's actually so important that we do sign up members, because without the democratic participation, ordinary members of the public can't actually put a cross in a Reform UK box. And I don't know about you, but I feel that actually the established parties, they've totally taken everything that they have said they would do and done, well, quite the sodden opposite, to be perfectly honest. Do you agree, sir?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, you served in the fire and armed services, sir?
Fire and rescue service, yeah.
Well, thank you for your service. Round of applause, please. Yeah. Yeah. And what are you making of the last two governments that we've had?
Well, I moved down here in 1985 as a child because my dad was made unemployed through no fault of his own when Maggie Thatcher shut all the shipyards.
Right.
He thought of our future and moved us down here. But like everything else with the Conservative government, the Labour government, we're privatising this, we're privatising that, and they just don't give a damn.
Yeah, well, this is a party that doesn't actually adhere to left and right. We adhere to common sense. And if that means that we've got to bring back services, yeah. If that means we've got to bring back services into public arms, then we absolutely will do that. We absolutely will. Now, my friends, I'm going to get you all, actually, to look at this. You see this moving camera, this feast? Let's all give it a wave, because I want the public to see how many people are actually out for us tonight. Come on. Thank you very much. Woo! I love it, I love it, I love it. Now, I'm going to get myself up on this stage here now, and we're going to introduce two of our phenomenal councillors who've been out in their respective communities and have actually already made a real change to their the areas that they represent. So, first of all, we've got George Madgwick. Yeah. Oh, lots of round of applause for George. I love it, I love it. Who was that scream? Who was that scream? Are you George's wife? Are you actually? Stand up, come on, stand up, stand up. Well, there we are. And we've also got the beautiful and brilliant Charlotte Hale, also a councillor. Let's have a round of applause. All right, my friends, let's bring them on. Charlotte, first of all, thank you so much for coming back. Actually,
hello, thank you for having me.
We thought she was so good, ladies and gentlemen, that we brought her from the Isle of Wight through to use in Basingstoke today. And Charlotte, I have to say, you look like the picture of the Duchess of Cambridge tonight.
That's very kind.
Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful?
Thank you, Darren.
And George Madgwick, now George, you have gone above and beyond in your community, and I would actually say that in making inroads for the party for the first time, you came over as an independent councillor and actually decided to roll the dice and stand for Reform UK. Round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Now, George, you were sick and tired of the way in which your business was struggling, and you decided in 2019 you were going to take a stand. You were going to get involved in the dirty business of politics and actually get stuck in your community. What was it that gave you that impetus to want to actually put yourself forward?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as I say, the thing is, I think for a lot of us in the room and for people like me, we feel frustrated and let down by local officials. They don't do the job. And for me, in my example, I tried everything possible to contact my local councillor and get support and help, and it wasn't there. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to stand against you because you're not doing the job. And I happened to win, which was an incredible experience, an absolutely incredible experience. But the key point is here, I knew nothing about politics before I started. So when I got elected, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Not a clue.
I don't think
not
many
an
of them do,
absolute
George.
clue. No, exactly. And I got elected and I'm here, 7 years later.
Do you know what I like, though, about this party? That we're not all identical politicians that went to either Oxford or Cambridge, dare I say, like Peter Mandelson. Yeah, boo, hiss, hiss, hiss. Oh, I'm in a pantomime. I am. Boo, hiss. Is he behind you?
I hope not.
Charlotte, you're... Who said he's behind you? I hope not. Charlotte, you were campaigning, you were out knocking on doors on December 27th, right? You'd had your Christmas turkey, you'd have 1 or 2 sherries on Boxing Day, and you're out knocking on doors on December 27th. What is it that gets you motivated to get out of bed and think, do you know what? I'm going to go knock on strangers' doors and try and convince them to vote for Reform UK.
Well, this country gave me everything that I have as a young woman with opportunities to be able to speak my mind and represent my local community. I want to pay the country back. So I'm a proud patriot. I have the same values that Reform stand for. I want the best for my family, my community and my country. But I've got traditional values. I want to protect the villages and the green spaces that I've grown up in. And all I want to do is go out and get more people involved.
Now, the word patriotism was mentioned there. On the way in to Basingstoke, I stopped off, by the way, at the Angel in Basingstoke. Has anyone been to the Angel? Yeah? Oh, yeah, I had a stiff one in the Angel. And whilst I was in there, who's laughing at that? Who's laughing at that? There's filth in this room, filth. Whilst I was in there, on the way there, the number of flags hanging from lampposts, this is reclaiming and saying to people, I am not ashamed to love my country. I am not ashamed. Yeah. But George, you actually shone a light on the number of HMOs. Has anyone heard of HMOs? Yeah? Homes with multiple occupancy, where migrants are bussed up into communities like this one, or down into communities like this one. And we're forced to take them in by central government who hire private contractors in order to do that. You shone a light on this. How much of an issue is it, do you think, it also in Portsmouth, but in the wider country as well?
I mean, yeah, it's massive, and they try to keep it under wraps. They try to keep it very secret. I mean, in our instance in Portsmouth, the Home Office hadn't updated us for 3 years, and we were getting reports as councillors that we believe as migrants living next door to us, and we were going back to the council and they were saying, no, that's not existing. And we knew, residents know what's happening in their community. And then with a bit of investigative work, we discovered that it is true that people were being evicted from their homes to make way for private government contracts where migrants would stay. So people were being turfed. And the ironic thing, Darren, is in one instance, one family actually got moved into a hotel. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. And we shone a light on it because we have to. And the fact that any council or country prioritises the needs of those that arrive on boats over veterans and heroes is shocking.
I agree. A quick sentence then from the two of you. Why should people give up their time and effort to actually put themselves forward as a Reform UK candidate? George, I'll start with you.
If you want change, you've got to be that change. Don't sit on the sidelines and shout. And trust me, to anybody in this room that's not thought about being a candidate, listen when I tell you, you all can. Everybody in this room can be a candidate. Everyone's got certain skills. So do it and make the change that you want to see.
Charlotte?
It's about protecting what we have. Reform UK is our last opportunity. We're proud of the country that we live in, and we've got to produce and provide for that country.
Brilliant. Yeah, I love that. I don't know if anyone in the room knows this, but I signed my mother up to stand as a candidate, and I says to her, look, ma'am, you won't have to do anything, don't worry about it. She's now the Vice Chair of Durham County Council. But it's so important that we get out and actually take a stand, because I think we're at risk of losing everything that we hold dear. I really do. And I'm so concerned about that, and I think you said it really well, Charlotte and George, there, that actually the inheritance that we've been handed down from generations of brave and brilliant men and women, it's at risk. It's at real risk. It's in jeopardy in a way in which it's never been before, George.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. And I think we can see change in our local communities. We're not blind to this.
Yeah.
We see change. We see antisocial behaviour increase, and we see the change in the development of our communities and streets. It's not acceptable. And for so long, we've gone along with the status quo, and we need change now. And we have to change this. And I think in 2029, if the general election is then and not before, it's the time that we've got to take over. We have to save this country.
Charlotte?
Well, I think I'm 26, Darren, so I still class myself as quite young. But
You are. Isn't she young?
Younger than Darren. But I think I've seen the country change so much in my lifetime. I've seen the school curriculum change in my own education, and I've seen teachers try and create carbon copies of students. That's not what this country's about.
No. Can I ask you in the audience, is there anyone that's considering standing as a Reform UK candidate? Raise your hands if you are. Raise your hand. Oh, I've got some hands. We've got some hands. I love it, I love it, I love it. Now, we're going to convince them. We have to convince them, because people need that democratic choice away from the two established parties. How important is that to you, Charlotte, that actually people are able, in communities like this, to be able to make that choice at the ballot box?
Do you know, I think from my time in local politics so far, a lot of people I've seen, they're already doing these things that we do as local councillors. You're already doing a litter pick or doing public events or having these political conversations, usually at the pub. So I think that we're already engaged within our own communities, and it's standing up with that Reform UK badge on and saying, I'm proud to represent my community, and taking that plunge, and as you say, Darren, giving people that opportunity.
Brilliant. All right, can I get a round of applause for Charlotte and George, please? Thank you. Now, Charlotte and George, I think, is it not time that we take the bull by the horns?
Absolutely.
Could it be? Because right now, taking to the stage is our very own Dr. David Bull.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, Darren Grimes.
Good evening. David, how many councillors, like my beautiful pair here, Charlotte and George, are you hearing from out and about every time you're touring?
Do you know, it's been amazing. I've been around the country, I've seen over 7,000 people in 7 months, and I'm just so struck by the passion, enthusiasm, young people who are determined to stand up for this country and be counted. And ladies and gentlemen, we need to see more of that, don't we?
So, David, as you well know, we've got candidates there that you and I are so incredibly grateful for. We've also got party members that we are so incredibly grateful for. But we've got also ordinary members of the public who are still making their minds up.
Yeah.
You know, what is actually the aim and objective of bringing in, I think, an unprecedented way, members of the public into the reform conversation?
So the one thing I would say to you, Darren, is that going around the country, I've been in working men's clubs in the north of England, I've been in former Tory strongholds, and people are sort of aligned by the idea that the two main parties are completely dead. They're rudderless. They have no idea what they're doing. I think Charlotte made a great point, which is the country is unrecognisable from the one that I grew up in, and people are looking for change. And I think that definition you talked about right and left, is well and truly over. It's about being right or wrong. It's about fighting for the future of the United Kingdom, and I think that's what binds us together.
Well, I agree with that. Do you? Yeah? We all do. Now, David, I mean, before you got into politics, you were, he was telling a few spooky tales. Does anyone remember Most Haunted?
Oh, Darren.
Yeah, cooey, wooey. Why did you take that step in the Brexit Party and say, do you know what? I'm actually going to take a stand, because there are members here, as you well know, who are umming and ahhing about whether or not they should get involved. What was it for you that made you think, do you know what? I'm going to try. I'm going to do it.
Sure. I'm a doctor by training, and then, as many of you know, I got into television some 30 years ago, even though I don't look that old, hopefully. All right. And then I did a number of shows, and I just felt there was this huge democratic deficit, that no one listened to the public. And I didn't want to be controlled by a European superstate. I wanted sovereign control of the British people by a British Parliament. And one thing I would say about that, I got a phone call from a gentleman called Nigel Farage, and he said, would you stand to be in the European Parliament? I said yes, and the rest is history. We went into the European Parliament, and we carried the Union flag out of the European Parliament back to the United Kingdom. Darren, thank you so much indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Darren Grimes, please thank him.
Thank you.
Well, a very good evening to you all here in Basingstoke. I'm so delighted to be with you here, because this town, Basingstoke, is the very definition of a great British success story. For those of you who don't know, Basingstoke is the birthplace of the British fashion brand Burberry. Yes, which was founded here in 1856. And the one thing I will say as chairman of this great party, Reform UK always stands with great British success stories, don't we? Now, electorally, this is a really interesting seat, because historically Basingstoke has always been a very safe Tory seat. But at the last election, people here booted out the Tories, and they put their trust in Labour. And that trust, ladies and gentlemen, that trust was betrayed, was it not? And that is why I am so delighted. Let me just share this with you to see the latest polling. The latest polling shows Reform UK has now decimated Labour's lead. It actually gets better than this. Ladies and gentlemen, Reform UK is now on track to win this parliamentary seat at the next general election. So I'm Dr. David Bull, I'm chairman of Reform UK, and I'm so delighted to see so many of you here tonight. Now, as Darren mentioned, some of you are supporters of the party. Some of you are members, but many of you here tonight have never had an affiliation with a political party. I think it's fair to say some of you have never voted, but all of you here tonight are here out of a sense of frustration, of desperation, and anger at the way our country has been run into the ground. This current Labour government is the worst I have ever seen in my lifetime. This government, ladies and gentlemen, is directionless, it's rudderless, it's devoid of principles, policies, it lacks any coherence. And great countries need a great leader. And what do we have? Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer, ladies and gentlemen, is a failed human rights lawyer who prefers Davos to Devon. He is a man who has alienated almost the entire British electorate. Let me just tell you, he's a man who languishes with a net approval rating of, wait for this, -47. In fact, his approval rating is now so bad that at this point, the Taxman, the Weather, and even the BBC are more popular than the British Prime Minister. I just want to be really clear with you. The main parties have consistently and they have constantly destroyed people's hopes, aspirations and futures. Let's start with Labour, shall we? This Labour government, in my opinion, is out of ideas and out of time. And astonishingly, this Labour government is now on its 16th U-turn. They have absolutely no idea what they're doing. They have no idea how to grow an economy or indeed how to get a business to thrive. They have launched full frontal attacks on people who set their alarms and work all hours that God sends. And the rise in employer national insurance contributions has clobbered businesses, forcing many to stop recruiting or indeed to close their doors. They are literally waging war against people who prudently save or buy their own homes or even deign to send their kids to private schools. They've also attacked our farmers, our industrial base, our pubs, and for me, as a medic, the worst sin of all, they attacked our pensioners, and that is unacceptable. You know this as well as I do. They've presided over rocketing energy costs. They are worshipping on the altar of net zero. And this is a very unstable world indeed. They are trying to give away sovereign British territory in the form of the Chagos Islands. And then when you turn to Iran and the conflict that's going on there, this hopeless government doesn't even know which side it is on. It has taken them a whole week to send a ship to Cyprus to protect sovereign British territory. That is unacceptable. And we do not even have a British ship to escort the HMS Prince of Wales to the Middle East. So guess what? We, as the United Kingdom, now have to go cap in hand to the French, to the Greeks, and even, worst of all, to the Spanish. It is utterly embarrassing, is it not? And it is unacceptable. And talking of failure, they are now allowing the Chinese to build a super embassy with secretive rooms in the heart of London, just meters from critical infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, this is utter madness. And unforgivably, they have allowed the illegal invasion of our country to continue unabated. The figures show that total illegal immigration for last year was 41,000. That is up 13% on the previous year. And last year had the second highest number of crossings. Since Labour came to power, an astonishing 65,000 people have now come here illegally. Ladies and gentlemen, this government has been nothing short of an unmitigated disaster. And you placed your trust in them at the general election, and I would say to you, they have betrayed you. But let's now just turn to the Tories and remind ourselves that actually it was the Tories that broke Britain. They presided over record tax hikes and a cost of living crisis. It was the Tories that were responsible for austerity and public service erosion, and that affected councils and courts and youth services and social care. We also know they bankrupted the country by tripling our national debt. They repeatedly missed house building targets. They destroyed the NHS and they betrayed Brexit. And the one thing I cannot forgive them for, they turned the country into a police state in the COVID pandemic. They consigned elderly people to die alone, frightened and without family, and that is unacceptable. They were also responsible for an open-door immigration policy. They let in nearly 150,000 illegal migrants into this country. And under Boris Johnson, they allowed 3.8 million unskilled migrants legally into this country, half of whom, by the way, will never, ever work. And the message I have for you tonight, you simply cannot trust the Tories, and they must never be forgiven for what they have done to this once great country. So given the fact that the two main parties have abjectly failed this country, some people are turning to the Lib Dems in desperation. My feelings exactly. But who are the Lib Dems? What do the Lib Dems even stand for? They are a party with a leader who is more interested in PR stunts than offering a credible opposition. Which now really only leaves one other party to consider. Yes, the Green Party. Let me be very clear about the Green Party. And this is a very serious point. The Green Party is a major threat to British national security. The Green Party is a threat to community cohesion. It is a party more interested in Gaza than in Great Britain. And do not forget, by the way, this party is led by a man who doesn't believe in borders, he doesn't believe in British national security, he does not believe in upholding the rule of law. Ladies and gentlemen, do not let Zach Polanski hypnotise you into voting Green. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, I believe passionately that Reform UK is the last chance to save this country. We are now the fastest growing political party in this country. We are now the largest political party in this country. Since I've been chairman, we have gained 5,000 new members every single month of my tenure. We now have 8 members of Parliament, and as Darren mentioned, we won a seismic victory against this government who tried to cancel your elections and elections for 4.5 million people in this country. It was wrong, it was undemocratic, and ladies and gentlemen, we put a stop to it. So let's now be very clear. The status quo is just not working, and I think you would agree with that. But Reform UK is working for local people where we were elected last May. Just some few quick examples. In Staffordshire, Reform saved 63 county farms from being sold. The Tory administration sold over 30. In Derbyshire, we cleared the pothole backlog completely. There were 17,000 potholes. Now there are 0. And in West Northamptonshire, Reform served notice on all 3 asylum hotels in that area. And ladies and gentlemen, we are determined to shut all asylum hotels in the United Kingdom. Unlike the failed establishment, Reform is delivering for local people. Now, in just over 8 weeks, on May the 7th, elections are taking place across the country, including here in Hampshire. This is your chance to hit the government where it really hurts. And ladies and gentlemen, there is only one way to do that. The way to do that is to vote for Reform UK. Well, our next speaker needs very little introduction. She has been a fearless voice in national politics for years, someone who has never been afraid to stand up for what she believes in, even when it is unpopular or difficult. The one thing I'd say about her is she has been consistently spoken up for the millions of people across this country who want secure borders, common sense government, and leaders who put this country first. And on the 26th of January, she took a very bold step by joining our movement, the only party determined to challenge the political establishment and fight for real change. I am, of course, talking about our Member of Parliament for Fareham and Waterlooville and our Shadow Education and Skills Secretary. But before we meet her, let's see her in action.
I'm a politician. I want to feel inspired. I want to feel motivated. I want to feel part of a mission that is on its way to save our country. And for too long, the Conservative Party just hasn't been that. So, it's been a growing realisation. It's just become apparent how toxic the Conservative Party is, how it's not for me. It's not for me, and I'm very happy to be leaving the Conservative Party behind.
How are you? Right.
He was right on Brexit. He's been right on immigration. Far before many people were talking about these problems, he was brave enough to raise his head above the parapet and voice the anger and the frustrations that millions of Britons have been feeling.
Somebody who's reached high office in the cabinet, reaching up to the rank of Home Secretary, but was there during those years and saw the betrayal, and now has the courage of her convictions to come and stand with me on a Reform platform and speak to you today. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the stage former Home Secretary Suella Braverman.
I want to say thank you. I feel like I've come home.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Suella Braverman, MP.
Good evening, Hampshire. Hello. Come on, we can do better than that. Good evening, Hampshire. That's more like it. Wow, what a great event this evening. It is a real honour and delight to join you. And of course, as David said, I'm the Member of Parliament, the Reform Member of Parliament for Fareham and Waterlooville. There we go, we've got some people from Fareham, Waterlooville today. Thank you for coming. We had a great day today. It was an honour to welcome Nigel and the Reform team to Southwark in my constituency down south, and we visited the historic village and the Golden Lion pub, that famous pub where Eisenhower and Monty planned the D-Day operations. That's what's so wonderful about our county, the role that Hampshire played in those moments of peril and showed great bravery. I'm so proud of everyone in Hampshire and our rich, rich history. And yesterday, we were in the Isle of Wight. I've got to say, I don't come up north very often. It's a little bit cold up here, but I'll try my best. I'll try my best. I want to start, first of all, by saying a big thank you. I want to thank all of those of you who are Reform members and supporters. Thank you for loving our great country. Thank you for taking a stand. Thank you for campaigning. Thank you for fighting for a better future for our children in Hampshire and in our country. We need you to keep going, because I know that we can fix Britain. And to those of you who are not members of Reform, those of you who have given up your Tuesday evening to come along and find out more, to check us out, I want to thank you too, because you too love this great country. You too are unsure about what's happening, and you too are looking for answers. And for me, it is an honour to be a Member of Parliament in Hampshire. I've been a Conservative for many, many years, and I've been now in Reform for 6 weeks. I'm a new member. It took me some time to come to that decision, but I've got to tell you, now I'm part of the team, it's the best decision I've ever made. After marrying my husband, it's the best decision I've ever made. I've got to say that. He's here tonight. And I wish I'd done it sooner. Because for me, I joined the Conservative Party in the early 90s because of my mum. My mum joined the Conservative Party then. She was a councillor for 16 years in London. And why did she join the Conservative Party in the late 80s? Because of one lady, Mrs. Thatcher. What a woman. What a woman. For my mum, Mrs. Thatcher was an icon. Mrs. Thatcher took on Arthur Scargill and the militant unions and won. She saved the Falklands. She empowered a whole generation through home ownership, and she brought prosperity to our country through personal responsibility and a culture of enterprise. She was a true patriot. And looking back, I don't think this country has had a leader who has come anywhere close to the patriotism, to the courage, to the resilience and the determination that we saw in Mrs. Thatcher. We're so lucky to have had her serve our country. And the Conservative Party, in recent years, has gone wrong. It's lost sight, lost touch with its true, authentic, patriotic British values. And I saw that up close in recent years. It made me politically homeless. Even as Home Secretary, I was unable to change the Conservative Party. It broke too many promises. It breached too much trust. As I said, even sat round that cabinet table with a Conservative Prime Minister and Conservative colleagues, I was unable to get the party to stay true to the British people. Conservative Party promised to cut immigration, but what did we see? We saw record levels of immigration, a broken promise. The Conservative Party promised to do whatever it takes to stop the boats, but what did we see? A party that utterly refused to do what was necessary and leave the ECHR to stop the invasion on our south coast. The Conservative Party promised to cut taxes, and yet it was on the Conservative Party watch that we saw taxes rise to a 70-year high. The Conservative Party promised to tackle Islamism, and yet, even as their Home Secretary, I was blocked from bringing extremism and two-tier policing to an end. They wouldn't let me do it. And so, for the first time in many years, I finally feel like I have a political home. On too many issues, the Conservative Party failed. And here in Hampshire, what do we have? Well, we've got the Liberals and Labour and the Greens who would want to take in illegal migrants and house them in hotels and flats and towns and villages around the county. In Waterlooville, just this summer, the Labour-run Havant Borough Council wanted to bring in illegal migrants into the shopping centre. And together with local councillor Gwen Robinson, where are you, Gwen? Give us a wave, Gwen. Our Waterloo council, there we go, there, wonderful, wonderful lady. We fought the Labour Council, a petition with 10,000 names, and we forced the Home Office and that Labour Council to U-turn. Or the Conservatives, running Hampshire County Council into millions of pounds worth of debt, failing to provide the right services, failing to even fix the potholes. So, for the first time in a very long time, I finally have some hope. Because the truth is that Reform UK is the only party that has the backbone, the confidence and the determination to do what is needed to fix Britain. It's Reform UK, which is the only party that will say it's not racist to want to cut immigration, because out-of-control migration is putting pressure on our services and on our communities. It's only Reform UK that has the guts to take the United Kingdom out of the European Convention on Human Rights and stop the boats. The only party. It's the only party who says, if you come to this country, you speak the language, you sign up to our values, you pay your tax, and you respect this country, or you're out. All the other parties are scared. They're cowards. They won't speak the truth. It's only Reform UK that will support businesses, that will support farmers, that will support pubs, because we're on your side. So, listen, the local elections, and indeed the next general election, will be, I think, the most consequential general election in our lifetimes. There's a lot at stake for this country and indeed for this county. We can either admit that there are serious problems and begin the renewal, begin the fight back, and start to reclaim our pride, our confidence, and our prosperity. Or or we can continue this steady decline, this deterioration into humiliation and poverty. The choice is abundantly clear. And I'm proud to support reform because we've got the only leader who's shown an ounce of courage compared to the others on offer. It's Nigel Farage, who had the backbone. Yeah, it's Nigel Farage who had the backbone to say that the EU was destroying our democracy. And when he did that, the mainstream parties tried to shut him down, but the British people supported him because he was telling the truth. It's Nigel Farage who had the guts to say that the country was at breaking point because of out-of-control immigration. And the establishment tried to smear him and vilify him, but the British people backed him. And it's Nigel Farage today who's the only political leader with the courage to say, yes, Britain is broken, but it can be so much better. There's no one else I trust to lead this country to a better future. And so, listen, Reform UK is a great party. We're not going to apologise for our history. We're optimistic about our future, and we are proud. We're proud of our country, and we're not afraid to say so. And I've been crying out for a party that's not afraid to say that it's proud of our country for years. So, ladies and gentlemen, friends, patriots, let's get to work, let's vote reform, and let's fix Britain. Thank you.
Well, fantastic. Wasn't she brilliant, ladies and gentlemen? Suella Braverman. Well, that brings us nicely to our final speaker. He is a man who quite literally needs no introduction. He is arguably the most famous politician in this country, if not the world. His career is long, distinguished, and let me tell you, it's most certainly varied, is it not? Thanks to I'm a Celebrity, he has gained a whole legion of new, very young supporters. He is a social media sensation. He is a man known for his straight-talking, no-nonsense approach. Now, last year, he was voted most influential politician in Britain at the Spectator Awards. And YouGov now cites him as the most popular politician in this country. But soon, he will make history again when he becomes the next British Prime Minister. And before we meet him, let's see him in action.
We are all ships rising on a turquoise tide, headed towards winning the next general election. This government is deep in crisis. They are not fit to govern. The Conservative Party are riven. There is a new, strong, unified party, the party that stands up for decent, working people, and we are the party on the rise. The energy has been unbelievable. The enthusiasm has been extraordinary. You are the people's army.
Reform is now in government. And the big shout-out message, and it's very, very clear, is if you vote reform, you get reform. And when it comes to country, of what a nation is, this is where I do personally want to confront the Prime Minister head on.
No one cares more about the state of this country than I do.
There is nobody more determined than me.
But I tell you what, folks, that was just the beginning. Thank you very much indeed.
Reform UK, Nigel Farage MP.
Good evening, Basingstoke. Well, what a fantastic reception, and amazing you've turned out in these incredible numbers. No other political party in this country could turn out a crowd like this in Basingstoke. And do you know something? No other political leader would have the guts to come and face the members of the public in Basingstoke, but I'm here. And there's a great joyous mood in the room. I think a mood of optimism, a mood that says you understand as I do that very fundamental big change is about to come to British politics. And boy, doesn't our country need change, real change. I went at lunchtime today down to Portsmouth. Football team not doing that well, but never mind. And I stood by the statue put up to the immortal memory of Horatio Nelson, and I walked up and I walked along the wall and I thought about the incredible people who've been through Portsmouth over 700 or 800 years. Kings, queens, admirals, sailors, all brave men, all patriotic men. And I thought of the incredible might of our country. We were the greatest naval history the earth has ever seen. It was the source of our greatness. And I walked along and I could see HMS Victory and I could see Warrior and those incredible historic sites in Portsmouth. And then I saw well, actually, I didn't see very much because we haven't got much left, have we? But there was HMS Dragon about to set sail for Cyprus, a British Royal Air Force base. Sovereign British territory was attacked with Iranian missiles, and by the time one single naval vessel arrives to give protection, it will have been nearly 3 weeks. This is, folks, a national humiliation for us on the most incredible level. I mean, can you believe it? The French are defending Cyprus. They're defending the RAF base, offering to escort our ships down. Macron now sending a flotilla. So as was said to me earlier, if the French are sending their navy, you know the war's nearly over. Oh dear. I'll get in trouble for that one, but that's okay, I'm used to being in trouble. But can you believe we refused the Americans? We refused the Americans to use our bases, including Diego Garcia. We said to the most fundamentally important partner without whom We are defenceless. Let's face it, we're defenceless without America. We said, no, you can't use the bases. Starmer dithered, went back, went forth. We are led, folks, by a man who is not a leader. We are led, folks, by a man who is not a patriot. We are led by a man who is happy to see our armed forces run down and who has directly been involved in now 242 of our former special forces being prosecuted for acting on behalf of the Crown up to half a century ago, and our Prime Minister is complicit in this. He is the most unpatriotic, worst Prime Minister and he's managed to upset the Americans, upset the Cypriots, upset all our friends in the Gulf, upset the voters, upset his own backbenchers, upset his own political party through his sheer feebleness. But the good news is, he'll be gone by the end of May. Don't worry about that. But of course, one of the reasons that Dragon wasn't ready, one of the reasons our pitiful Royal Navy is mostly in dry dock, is of course 14 years of the other lot, running down our armed forces in simply the most unimaginable way. And I would say this to you. We believe, as a political party, you cannot find solutions to the trouble the country's in until you first understand the diagnosis. If you're ill, you've got to find out what it is, haven't you? If you don't find out what it is, you can't be cured. Keir Starmer continually says, Britain isn't broken. Britain's fine, everything's fine. In Islington, everything's fine. And Kemi Badenoch says, Britain isn't broken. Because if she admits it's broken, she admits that it's 14 years of broken promises, 14 years of the Conservative Party that broke it. But we know the truth. We know that everything, from the National Health Service, to our roads, to our borders being out of control, to the fact we haven't got a navy that operates, we know, we recognise, we accept the diagnosis that Britain is broken and Britain needs reform, and that's why we're here. And we have to turn this country around. And you know, the fish rots from the head down. It's about leadership. It's about courage. It's about conviction. It's about knowing what you stand for. But above all, it's also about keeping your promises. In 2016, nearly 10 years ago, this country voted Brexit. It voted to leave the European Union. And yet, 10 years on, whether you voted for it or not, the point is the British public made a decision, didn't they? Despite being told we'd lose our homes, we'd lose our jobs, we'd go bankrupt. Despite all of that, the British people spoke. And what do we get? What do we get from Parliament? What do we get from the Conservative government? What do we get from the Labour government? Obstructionism at every single point of the way. And above all, we voted Brexit, not just to get back control of our country from those ghastly old men that run Brussels, although I had some fun teasing them in the years. I enjoyed the whole thing far more than they did, let me tell you. But above all, a nation that does not control its borders is not, by definition, a nation. We voted to get back control of our borders. And what have we had? What have we had? Since 2018, a never-ending stream of young men crossing the English Channel. Young men who throw away their passports, throw away their iPhones when they get to the 12-mile line, so that they can't be identified. Put up in hotels, prioritised for social housing. They even get dental care. How many people here get NHS dental care? Everything is given to them. And it's totally unfair on the rest of us, but worse than that, many of them pose a national security threat, and too many of them pose a threat to young women living in this country. It happened under the Tories. It happened under the Tories. It's got worse under Keir. Smash the gangs, Keir. I mean, God help us. And there's no sign of it stopping. They've come for the last 7 days continuously. And every calm day, they will go on coming. This is not, folks, why we voted Brexit. But no one's got the courage to stand up and offer the solution. And I'll promise you this, a Reform government will stop the boats. A Reform government will deport those that come illegally into our country. And we'll deport many who've come over the last few years, and we'll do it by getting back sovereign control of our law, of our courts, of our parliament, by leaving the European Convention on Human Rights. And that's illegal immigration. But what about the Boris wave? What about the government elected to reduce the numbers coming in? Of the last 3 million that came in under Boris Johnson, only 20% are working. The rest we'll be paying for the rest of our lives. We're not against people coming into Britain who integrate, who come into Britain, become part of our communities. But we are completely opposed to millions coming into Britain, many of whom will take over parts of our inner cities to the degree they will make them unrecognisable, and who, rather than accepting our culture, want to impose their culture and their religion upon us. And everybody else is gutless. So I want to be clear. If the Tories and Labour Party are too gutless to talk about it, we will talk about it. We will stand up and defend British identity and British culture, and we'll do it as long as we have breath in our bodies. And then we have the cost of living. The deindustrialisation of our country. Have you noticed it? Everything's gone in the last few years. Shipbuilding. We're down to just one firm that produces primary steel. Chemicals, plastics, cement making, brick making, heavy engineering. All of the things that Britain was once very, very good at. And yes, of course, I understand global competition. But we are completely destroying British industry and British business, and frankly, not giving ourselves a chance with the new 21st century technologies of data centers, etc. Because we now have the highest industrial energy prices in the world. Anyone know why that is? Boris Johnson said, we're going to become the Saudi Arabia of wind. So we built wind turbines. We subsidised them by putting the cost of it onto your bills at home and onto the costs of businesses. We're now down to 2 days gas reserve supply in Britain. If we had 3 weeks of no wind and no sun, the lights would start going out in Britain because we haven't got the gas reserves. And we say, isn't it marvellous? We've cut carbon emissions more than any other country in the world. Do you know why? All the stuff that used to get made here now gets made in India or China or somewhere else, and then the goods get transported back to us. All we've done is export CO2 emissions. It's utter madness, and we will end this. We will end this. We will end this net zero obsession, which the Tories started, and Red Ed Miliband, God, he's dull, isn't he? Well, I'm sorry, but by the way, they're much ruder about me, I promise. We will end all subsidy. We will reduce your energy bills. We will get industry back in this country. We will produce our own oil. We will produce our own gas. We'll make ourselves self-sufficient on energy, not reliant on the rest of the world. And here we are in Basingstoke, but in the middle, of course, of rural Hampshire. And I have to say, I was very honoured that over 10 big tractors turned up outside the venue earlier. There is an assault on our farming communities. There is an assault on our traditional way of life. There is an assault on country people. There is almost a hatred of country people coming from this urbanised Labour Party. The taxes that were imposed by Rachel Reeves. Oh, hang on. She was a senior economist at the Bank of England for 10 years. I mean, don't make me laugh. Has led to fear in those communities. A lot of farms being sold and being brought up by American private equity and much else. The reason we have this wonderful treasured landscape, and here in Hampshire, I guess, Jack Hargreaves' landscape, something that we love and adore and believe in, is because those families, whether with big plots of land or small plots of land, have husbanded the British countryside wonderfully for century after century. And they really have. And the thought that Watership Down, just a few miles away from here, that wonderful Watership Down is now going to be covered in utterly useless Chinese manufactured solar panels is the willful destruction of our green and pleasant land, and we will end it. And it's like the whole world is run by a few big companies that have the ear, if you like, of big global business. What about the 5.7 million people? 5.7 million people in this country that act as sole traders or run their own businesses. They are put upon by regulation, put upon by inspectors, put upon by excessive business rates, put upon by HMRC and many, many others, and no one has given a damn about them. And they struggle with whatever business they do, especially if they're in the high street. Although Basingstoke seems to be doing very well with Turkish barbers, I seem to notice. If that doesn't make the front page of a local paper, nothing will. But it's true, isn't it? It's true. I know Basingstoke's got a flood of them. We will stand up for entrepreneurs. We will stand up for small businesses. We will reduce the burden of regulation. We will stop them having to file tax returns 4 times a year. Make it once a year. Let's get Britain back in business. And you know, our voters get up in the morning. Our voters are alarm clock Britain. Our voters go to work and are now paying more tax than they've ever paid in their lives, whether they're working or retired, for the growing millions who choose not to work. Well, I'm sorry, it's wrong. It's unfair, and it can't go on. It simply cannot go on. We will bankrupt ourselves if we go on giving full-time disability under the grounds of mental health for those who've got mild anxiety. I have it every morning when I wake up. It is utterly ridiculous. We're encouraging worklessness. We're overdiagnosing teenagers with ADHD. There's something gone fundamentally sick and wrong. And if people in the end give up working, we literally will go bankrupt. So in life and in politics, you've got to pick a side. And we're picking the side of those who choose to try their hardest, do their best, obey the law, bring up their families, and who, above all, believe in this country, believe in its people, and we are unashamedly, we are the patriotic party, and we will not resile from that for one moment. So we've got a good plan, and the team is growing. You've just seen Suella. We've got some very talented people that have joined us, and people from outside politics with real success in life that are joining us. Everything is aimed at the next general election, whatever that might be. Now, some say it'll be 2029, but I think this government is in such freefall that the election could come sooner. I really, really genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe that. So, here in Hampshire, last year, it was the 4-year term of your county council that was up. 78 county councillors, 56 of them elected back in 21 as Conservatives. A Conservative-dominated county of Hampshire. And you were all busy paying your council tax, adding your 4.99% pretty much every year, with a chief executive of Hampshire Council earning $250,000 a year, and over 50 employees on the council earning over £100,000 a year. You didn't know that, did you? And yet, if you believe there should be no taxation without representation, elections should go ahead, shouldn't they? Last year in Hampshire, you were robbed of that vote, and a Conservative party who were elected all those years ago in different circumstances stayed in power. Well, this year you will have a vote. And this year, there are 4.6 million people in Britain who are going to be denied the vote for the second year in a row, who now only have that vote because I took the Labour government to court, and I'm proud of what we have done. Because we will stand up for democracy. We will stand up for our rights, stand up for our liberties, stand up, frankly, for all the things that the generations before us fought 2 world wars so that they could be ours to enjoy. So on May the 7th, you have a vote. 78 county councillors for Hampshire will be elected. There will be 78 Reform UK candidates on your ballot papers in every single part of this county. So wouldn't it be a good thing if Reform won Hampshire County Council? Will you help us? Will you help me to achieve that goal? Right, well you can. You can. The strength of this movement, the strength of this party, the reason we're doing something unprecedented in British history. And remember, we're a brand new party. We've led over 230 opinion polls with an average lead of 10%, but now we have to turn it into reality. The reason we're doing it is we're now the biggest party in the country by membership. People are joining our People's Army. People are putting their backs to it and saying, let's give these guys a hand. So tonight I have one thing to ask of you. Are you prepared to do your bit? Are you prepared to stand up and be counted? Are you prepared to help me fight? Because you know what? If we don't do this, then the next general election may be the last one before this country slips into third world status and oblivion. That is how much trouble we're in. Now, quick straw poll. I want to know how many members of the audience are not paid up members of Reform UK. Let's have a look at you. Oh dear. It's about 80% of you are not members. Folks, all I can say is thank you for coming along this evening. Thank you very much indeed for coming along. We are doing politics the old-fashioned way. Not just sound bites, but the opportunity to come along and listen and see us and work out what we are all about. If you agree with what you've heard this evening, if you agree with what we are trying to do, if you fear, as I do, that unless we stand up and fight back, the future for our children and grandchildren will be very bleak indeed. They will not enjoy the life that we in many ways have. Then I just have one ask of you. Please join us. Please help us. Please eulogize for us. Please spread the message and let us on May the 7th here in Hampshire score an historic victory and teach those parties who've let our country down so badly a lesson they will never ever be able to forget. Thank you very much indeed.